Welcome to our VirtuaLaw Legal Analysis series. In today's episode, we will discuss the meaning, application and sample case of Doctrine of Absolute Privilege. Let's dive right into it. Doctrine of Absolute Privilege. It typically pertains to a legal principle that grants certain individuals or entities immunity from liability for statements made in specific situations, even if those statements are defamatory or damaging to another person's reputation. This privilege exists to safeguard free speech, protect public interest, and allow individuals, particularly those in official positions, to carry out their duties without fear of legal repercussions from their statements. Particularly those in official positions, to carry out their duties without fear of legal repercussions from their statements. Application. Under the doctrine of absolute privilege, individuals who fall under its protection are granted immunity from civil or criminal liability for their actions or statements made in the performance of their official duties, even if those statements or actions may be defamatory or harmful. This privilege is considered absolute because it is not subject to any exceptions or conditions. In other words, as long as the statements or actions were made within the scope of official duties and functions, the individual is shielded from legal consequences. The application of this doctrine is typically limited to statements or actions made in the context of public functions and official duties. It does not extend to personal matters or actions taken outside the scope of official responsibilities. Two common scenarios where the doctrine of absolute privilege may apply are: 1. Legislative proceedings. Legislators, while performing their official duties within the context of legislative sessions and debates, may enjoy absolute privilege. This means that they can speak freely without facing defamation lawsuits, regardless of the content of their statements. 2. Judicial proceedings. Witnesses testifying in court under oath during judicial proceedings are often protected by absolute privilege. This protection allows them to provide truthful or relevant information without fear of being sued for defamation. It is important to note that the doctrine of absolute privilege is typically limited to specific situations, such as those mentioned above. If the privilege is abused, or statements are made outside the scope of the protected scenarios, it may not apply, and the person making the statement could be held liable for any defamatory or harmful content. And it does not grant blanket immunity for all statements made by public officials or during legal proceedings. Sample case. Let's consider a hypothetical case to illustrate the application of the doctrine of absolute privilege in the Philippines. Case: Senator Hernandez's Senate statement. Senator Hernandez, during a press conference, makes a statement accusing a local businessman, Mr. Reyes, of being involved in illegal activities without providing any concrete evidence to support the claim. The statement was widely covered in the media, and it tarnished Mr. Reyes' reputation, leading to potential financial losses for his business. In response, Mr. Reyes files a defamation lawsuit against Senator Hernandez, seeking damages for the harm caused by the false accusation. However, during the court proceedings, Senator Hernandez invokes the doctrine of absolute privilege, arguing that his statement was made in the context of his official duties as a public official and that he should be immune from liability. The court reviews the case and determines that Senator Hernandez's statement was indeed made during a Senate hearing held to address concerns about local crime. The court concludes that the statement, though potentially defamatory, falls within the scope of Senator Hernandez's official duties as a public official responsible for maintaining law and order in the country. As a result, the court applies the doctrine of absolute privilege, granting Senator Hernandez immunity from defamation liability for his statement. It's important to note that the application of the doctrine of absolute privilege may vary depending on the specific circumstances of each case and the interpretation of the law by the courts. Additionally, the doctrine may not protect public officials who act with malicious intent or knowingly make false statements with the intention to harm others, as such actions may fall outside the scope of official duties and could be subject to other legal consequences. That's all for this episode. Stay tuned for more legal insights in our future episode. Remember, understanding landmark case helps us comprehend the intricacies of our legal system. See you next time. Like and subscribe.